Hey guys, thank you for tuning into my channel. My name is Joey and I'm a certified personal trainer. I want to help you get strong fast at home with this full body mobility workout. Today we're going to focus on a pike push-up for our upper body and the sissy squat for our lower body. Before we get into those exercises, we need to warm up first. We're going to start by applying pressure on our wrist. Don't confuse this with wrist conditioning. This is more or less coming to the ground and beginning to put your body weight onto your hands. This is a movement that I do where I internally rotate my hands and externally rotate my hands. When I get into each ending position, I'll take some time and mobilize around to help create more flexibility and get my body ready for impact. Now we're going to go into this sit back position to a forward lunge, and I'm going to do a few pulses at the end. The sit back position is really going to help condition the ankles as well as the knees. Same thing with going into this pulsing lunge. When you go into this sit back position, take some time to bounce around, shake side to side, lean back. This is really going to stimulate the ankles as well as your knees. When you go up into this lunging position, don't lunge too far, so that way when you come forward with the knee, you're going to be able to work on your ankles' dorsiflexion. Don't forget to help support my channel by subscribing so you can learn different ways to incorporate exercise into your everyday life. Now back to the workout. Now let's talk about our pike push-up. This is basically a push-up where you bring your shoulders in two different positions. When you're pushing up to the top, you're going to elevate your shoulders, and when you come down, you're going to depress your shoulders. Notice that my hips are bent at about a 90-degree angle, and I am moving in a diagonal fashion. I'm moving down and forward, where I'm going to touch my nose to the ground, and up and back. Down and forward, touch the nose, up and back. This is a movement that is great for strengthening your shoulders as well as your overall upper body. If that's too hard for you, our first regression, I'm going to use a bench, and I'm going to perform the same motion, and I'm going to come forward until my forehead touches the edge of the bench, and then I'll push myself back up. For a more detailed description on the shoulder positions of this movement, make sure you watch the video on the top of the screen right now. Our next regression will be using an object to place your forehead onto. So this means that you're not going to go as far down into the push-up, therefore making it easier. In this case, I'm using my yoga block. And if you're interested in supporting my channel and you're in need of a yoga block or a yoga mat, make sure you click the Amazon affiliate link in the description. Once you become comfortable with these two regressions, you should acquire enough strength to be able to perform the regular pike push-up. Alright, so this is the sissy squat. With this movement here, you're going to bend your knees and let them stick out past your toes. You're going to keep your hips open and lean back. When you first start this movement, just go down a little bit, not too far. You don't want to get too aggressive. This is a very potent pattern. Now I'm going to add a little bit of a variation to this movement. So check this out right here. You'll see that I'm starting with the regular sissy squat variation. Once I get low enough, I'm actually going to rotate and touch down to the ground with one hand. Standing back up, going back into the sissy squat, and then I'll touch down on the other side. Notice when I'm touching the ground, my hand is placed very softly. You should have a lot of control within the descent of this movement. So if you can't place your hand down softly, that means that you should probably stick with the first version of this move. Now let's talk about some regressions. Another way that you could regress this move is by using some yoga blocks, or you could even use a stool or a box, whatever you have handy. The same concept will apply. You're just going to be reaching higher up, in turn making the move easier. Once you get comfortable with one height, you can try to go to a lower height and rinse and repeat. When you're setting up to do this movement with an object, don't place it too far away from you. You actually probably want to have it maybe about a foot in back of you. You don't want to be reaching way back. You want to actually be reaching down underneath your shoulder. And also notice how I'm coming up on the balls of my feet while performing this movement. You don't want to stay flat-footed. You need to counterbalance the fact that your knees are sticking past your toes. And once again, as you become comfortable with the regressions, eventually you'll build up the strength to be able to do the full version. Now I want you guys to watch one of the videos that are on the screen right now to learn more ways to incorporate exercise or movement into your everyday life. As always, this is Joey saying be kind to one another and move well. Peace.